Welcome to the Nightly Rant
with
your hosts, Mike
and Torya.
This is the show where we examine society from a sarcastic point of view.
If you like insane conversations, this is definitely the show for you.
Let's get into today's topic. YPN people, I don't know about you, but I love helping out a friend. That's why I want to shout out my friend Brian Little and his podcast, Your Favorite Blockhead. This is the only show that manages to weave together peanuts and MMA into one heck of an amazing podcast. You can find Your Favorite Blockhead wherever your favorite podcasts reside and at yourfavoriteblockhead.com. Do me a huge favor and listen to Brian's show. You'll be entertained and you'll help out a friend. Now, as I said, let's get into today's topic.
So I thought we could talk about something that you say all the time. And honestly, until recently, I never actually bothered to give it 2 seconds of actual thought.
Are you talking about when I discovered the secret to a happy life?
Yeah, and you would say this, and I'd be like, I don't get it, and I don't want to spend the time on it. Just keep going. It sounds like a scam, and just keep going. And then the other day, you explained it to me, and I was like, wait a second, there's truth to this. So, tell them.
I feel like the secret to a happy life is to be stupid.
Why stupid?
It's easier for stupid people.
Hold on. How can it be easier to be stupid? When you're stupid, you can't see what the next thing that's coming down the road is.
Yeah.
So you can't be prepared for it.
You don't have to stress about it either. It just happens to you when it happens. The same thing is going to happen to me and that person. We're going to get run over by the same car filled with shit. The only difference is I can see it coming and have to spend the next 3 weeks stressing about it and trying to figure out how it doesn't hit me and spill steaming hot excrement all over my freaking head. But meanwhile, this stupid person wandering down the path next to me doesn't know it's coming. They just get to enjoy the next 2 weeks picking flowers, picking their nose, doing whatever makes them happy. They don't have to stress about the truck of steaming hot excrement.
But you're assuming dumb people don't foresee the future.
No, I'm saying dumb people don't see the cues to let them know something awful is going to happen. Like, if they're working at a job, and they are doing their job, and they're getting feedback over and over and over again about the exact same thing. Joe, your reports are late every Friday. I need these reports by 4 p.m. I need this report by 4 p.m. Next week, Joe, it's 4:05. Where's my report? The next week, Joe, it's 5:30. Where's my report? And Joe just plods along, doing what he wants to do, being too stupid to realize that every time I have to say, Joe, I want this report by 4 o'clock, that I'm this much closer to firing him. Now, you say that to me, and I immediately am stressed that I might be fired. Because I see that that's something that could happen. I see that this person is mad. I know what happens when somebody is mad about a job not being done properly. I see it. Joe doesn't have to stress because Joe's a moron. Maybe I'm using the wrong word to describe which type of people are happier. Maybe it's oblivious people are happier.
Okay, that's better. Because I was going to say, I don't necessarily think that all dumb people that I would consider dumb react to the same things in the same way.
We must commemorate this moment.
Plus, it's also assuming that people who react the way the dumb people react are also dumb people. And I don't see that as the truth either.
What's the approximate episode number we're on right now? 400 and change?
410-ish.
Is officially the episode where I was the most ranty. The official top rant banana.
We've gotten 3 minutes in and you're already declaring that?
Yes.
What if I go on a 14-minute long rant right now?
That's
Maybe
fine.
I will.
No.
I will. Then it won't be your rantiest episode.
It will be, because this was the most ranty I've ever been.
Oh, for you personally. Yeah,
yes,
good point.
not our most ranty
Good
episode.
Point. Good point.
That was definitely you about Joe Biden at some point, I'm sure.
Good point. Good point.
Or Donald Trump, whichever.
I don't know who
Anyway,
I've ranted
fine.
about. I don't even care.
I will amend
No.
my secret to happiness to be oblivious people.
Yeah, that one
No
makes
true
sense
happiness.
because oblivious people can come from all walks of life. Smart, not smart, average. They can just be oblivious. And being oblivious is actually worse than being dumb. Because when you're dumb, some of the time you get things right. When you're oblivious, you just don't care, ever.
Yeah.
So you float around and bounce around, like a balloon, getting thrown here and thrown over there.
Seriously, though. It's the secret. I mean, you might get fired a lot.
Okay.
But you're happier while you're getting fired and not stressed.
What is your opinion of smartest dog you've ever encountered and how it compares to humans in intelligence?
I don't know. They're definitely a less intelligent life form.
I think you would call them dumb people.
They don't have complex
and they're not
thought.
dumb.
They have very
but
simple thought.
they're not dumb, but they put, they're capable, like the Bree dog staring at me right now. She has this thing that Saturday morning, on Saturday morning, if I'm awake before you and I come upstairs, that must mean we're going somewhere where she wants to go. And
to the PARK?
Yeah, and she
gets
gets
the BALL?
Yeah, she gets all excited. She's very, very consistent about that. She's very smart about that. It's interesting, but most of her is very, very simple. It's a very simpleton life.
And
she doesn't have to worry about.
She
doesn't have to worry about anything, and she's super duper happy.
She just gets to be, and people play with her. People feed her dinner. Sometimes we give her treats. Sometimes she gets chastised for peeing on the floor. But other than that, she's just a happy dog. She sleeps, she plays, she eats.
The peeing on the floor.
She poops outside.
Don't
it's all
give
good.
people the wrong idea.
I said sometimes. And it's mostly when she's excited to see someone.
Yeah, we've kind of learned to take her out for that. But that's my point. Just simpletons. It's people who just, they don't care. Why do I care? Let me do this way. Who cares?
Even the cats. They have pretty simple thoughts. And Jasper, he's just a mean little dude. And he's happy to be that
way
mean.
more sophisticated, though. Dogs is generally, we're going to go here, and there's going to be a this. Cats are like, we're going to go here, but the way we're going to get to go there is we're going to do this first. Then, while they're on the way there, we're going to convince them to go even further by doing this.
So you're saying cats have 2 or 3
They
step
have a
complex
multiple
thoughts.
step plan to everything. How do you think they fucking open cabinets?
You're right.
They
Jasper.
practice and they practice and they practice. And then they're like, oh, wait a second. When you do that, it does this. And that's the thing. They're so simple that they don't care that they're just standing over there smacking the cabinet for hours. They're
like
learning.
toddlers.
But they're learning from it. And seriously learning from it.
They're like toddlers.
Yeah.
These cats.
So
Jasper, you want to know what his complex thought is? He's like, I kind of want to be in that bedroom. I don't really like that they lock me out at night. So as soon as that big one over there closes her footrest, I'm going to wander nicely over to the stairs. And as soon as she gets close, I'm going to bolt right between her legs. She'll fall and she'll forget to close the bedroom door tonight. That's Jasper for you. That's what he's thinking at night.
yeah, he does have kind of complicated thoughts, I think, because he's a very smart cat.
Wow.
And then there's the simpleton dog playing with the
She cat.
very intelligent cat. And
See?
she's up on her back paws. Oh, someone got scratched.
Miss Olive uses her thoughts for good.
Yeah, she's a good kitty. But enough of that. Bless you.
Simple people.
So, okay, but how does that
Oblivious
make
people.
life better and happier, though?
Because they don't have to stress all the time. My friend Joe, who submits every week his report is late. Well, like I said,
Joe,
if I had that said to me, I need this report by 4:00, no exceptions.
You'd fix it.
I would submit that report every day no later than 3:50, because if I submitted it at 4:30, just my luck, email would break and boss man wouldn't get that report until 4:15, and I'd be screwed.
Correct.
It would never happen again. But Joe just gets to obliviously continue on his happy little path, working at his own pace, and doesn't have to stress.
Okay,
he
but
doesn't know that he's going to get fired.
But you're basically saying that that's what makes him happy. I'm saying if people were more consistent with those kinds of people and let them go at the point they should let them go, maybe then there wouldn't be a bigger problem.
Well, but the bigger problem is kind of irrelevant in my head. The point I'm trying to make, which maybe I'm not making very well, it's very possible, is that me stress every Friday to get that report done. Joe, no stress.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a personality trait.
Obliviousness is a personality trait? I could buy it.
It is. It's a personality trait.
I can buy it.
And it comes on varying levels, too. There are people who can be just oblivious about certain things.
There are people
super tuned into everything else.
There are people who are oblivious to what they're saying hurting other people. They don't care. Or no. They can just say whatever they want.
But I care. But
You're not oblivious. You know what effect your words are having on other people.
Sometimes. But
Just
sometimes no.
You can choose to ignore that or not, but you're not oblivious. I'm talking about the oblivious people. The people who don't know, they don't have any idea what impact their words are going to have. And they don't care. They never have to carry that around with them. If I say something hurtful to somebody that I care about, I carry that around with me forever.
Okay, I'm going to give you credit that I feel like I disagree with everything you've said from the time we started this about this topic, but yet on the fly with my brain power right here, I cannot refute your points even a little bit. I can't. I can find flaws in some of what you're saying, but they're not even worth discussing unless there's a finish to it, and there's no finish to it. So hold on. So my point is, kudos to you. Well thought out points, well argued points, definitely. But for some reason, there's a part of me that doesn't agree with what you're saying. Like, go back to that first point. What's your stance again?
The secret to happiness is being an oblivious person, because I've changed my initial thought.
Right, exactly. Oblivious person.
So it's interesting to me that you disagree with it in its entirety.
But I'm wondering if oblivious people are happy. I mean, do you know oblivious people are happy?
I know they're not feeling all the stress about all the things that I feel stress about. Because
well, but aren't there people out there? Aren't there people out there who would have at certain points in our lives thought we were super happy when we weren't?
It's possible.
I mean, we've talked about it.
I did say it was my perception.
And I think that's why for me, I'm not so sure we can say emphatically, no, you might be right. Maybe they are happy. Maybe the majority of them are happier. Who knows? We have to ask the question, is what I'm getting at. I'm not like disagreeing. I think that's why I don't feel like verbally engaging about it, because I kind of have been taking that motto, like I told you earlier. If it doesn't have any benefit to moving the situation forward, then why bring it up? So it's like, if I'm like, this might be the case, and then you just go, kabam. Well, then I kind of wasted time and slightly insulted you maybe a little bit by questioning something, And this way, it's like, you wait until you have the actual evidence, and then you present it. Otherwise, you shut your mouth.
Do you want to know what happened to point this out to me and how I came to this opinion?
Yes, because I know you, and I know that there's always a reason for why you believe what you believe.
This wasn't just born from being annoyed with morons.
Yeah, which is easy to do, by the way.
Look at highly intelligent people that you know.
All right, I don't know any. I'm kidding. You mean besides me? Oh, no, I don't know any.
They tend to be cynical.
Oh, so you're going to define what a smart person is now. Okay.
No.
Interesting.
I said tend.
Well, but still.
There are exceptions to every rule, including my rule about
oblivious people. But it does kind of say
people.
what you think is a smart person. So that's what I'm getting at. There's nothing wrong with people.
The highly intelligent people that I know tend to be on the cynical side. Kind of salty, dark.
Yeah.
Cynical.
Yeah. And those who were like, oh, life is grand, baby. The oblivious ones, you're right. They come off happier.
So it's just.
But isn't it possible that the salty, glum guy could actually be ecstatic on the inside, and the happy-go-lucky dude could actually be sad as hell on the inside? I mean, it's possible, right?
Totally possible.
So that's the thing. You have to kind of examine that by asking questions. You can't just use observation is all I'm getting at. That's all.
That's how I came to it. I observe the highly intelligent people I know, and I see cynicism and saltiness. And I equate cynicism and saltiness with unhappiness, because the unhappier that I am, the more cynical that I am, the more sarcastic I am, the saltier I am about things. So I know that about myself.
I think
it could be true for other people. So I took that. You have to wait. I'm almost done. I promise.
I'm just enjoying saying I think. Go ahead.
Whatever. Broken record man. Anyway.
I think.
He made me forget my friggin' point. Anyway. No. I figured it out. I observe these people and their cynicism. And I assume, which I understand, you don't have to say it. Just hold yourself back.
You said it. It's okay. You said it for everyone else.
I assume that they're less happy because I'm less happy when I'm cynical like that. So it really has nothing to do with the oblivious people. It's more that I assume highly intelligent people are less happy, which in turn means highly oblivious people are more happy.
I can understand how you can come to that. All right, thanks for explaining that. I may or may not agree with that.
You don't. It's fine. I don't. It's fine.
But that's interesting. It is. No, you know me. I respect people when they have a reason for their opinion.
It's possible that I'm just being highly salty right now and cynical, and that's where this is all coming from.
So, in other words, you're trying to say you're intelligent.
No, just that I'm salty.
You just said salty, cynical people are intelligent, and you are salty and cynical.
I said highly intelligent people, when they're salty and cynical, are unhappy. There's a difference. Then I said I'm salty.
Then you lost me somewhere in there because I heard something way different.
That's okay.
Scary.
There was a lot of words, and I said them really fast and kind of brokenly because you kept saying I think and making me laugh like a turd sandwich.
I think, yeah. That was my favorite phrase. I think. I think it was anyway. What do you think? Do you think I think was my favorite phrase?
I think it's your most said phrase. So if you want to say your most said phrase is your favorite, then that would mean that my favorite phrase is eat a dick.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You summed that up quite well. I just came up with 2 more ideas thanks to that conversation. Oh, yes. That turned into now 4 ideas. Huh, good.
Ideas for future episodes?
Can't say that right now, but maybe.
The saltiness is coming back, apparently.
Yeah, the return of the salt. That would be great.
It makes me want to go dun 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 dun.
Do you think Trash Bag Man still lives there?
I think Trash Bag Basketball Man will live there until the end of time. But why did that come up when you said Return of the Salt? That's Return of the Trash Man.
Because he's kind of salty about that.
He was more than kind of salty. He was super salty.
You told him directly about the episode.
He never went and listened, I'm sure.
Oh, I think he did. Because he got super salty towards you after that.
That's cool. I didn't like him anyway. He does nasty things to his wife. Like, complains about how big her ass is to other people in the laundry room.
You didn't even let me... We got to work on our comedic timing. Because, you were supposed to say... He does nasty things to his wife. And then I was supposed to say, isn't that the husband's job? And then you'd make something funny about a non-sexual thing that he did. And that makes it funny.
Do you remember why I don't like him?
Yes. And it was completely valid, by the way. As a man, I'm disgusted by hearing stuff like that.
Well, just leave it. That he was saying rude things about his wife to other tenants of the building in the laundry room.
Yeah, and I've been guilty of not saying the nicest things, but it's been directly to the person. It's not to like other people, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel bad enough about that. And I feel, honestly, it's way worse to go around to other people and call somebody like, you know, stingy or cheap.
Well, because now that poor person has to make eye contact with these other people in the apartment building who know that her husband said those things about her, and she's oblivious to it.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
But that is interesting. I think you may have convinced me that oblivious people, at least, are more often than not happy.
I convinced you?
Yeah, I think you did.
That's shocking.
Well, it's because I'm going with unless it's for sure going to move the conversation forward, don't make that argument.
I think you're actually convinced, you are convinced, that I might be right.
Yeah.
That I'm definitely
There's a
not
very big
wrong.
there's more possibility that you're right than that you're wrong. That's what I think.
And it may only be the truth for the small circle of people I interact with.
Well, see, that part is
But
100% true. Your opinion is going to, of course, be influenced by whomever you interact with. I mean, it's just, how can it not be, right?
I effectively work in customer service. Of course I have a salty opinion about humanity.
Yeah. Especially in the industry that you're in. I mean, that's...
Somebody called us the other day.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We need to close this show out with a bangaroony. So tell this story about the salty people.
It's not as exciting as some of my other stories, but man, does it make me want to beat my face against the wall. These people, they check in. Then 24 hours goes by. They've cooked breakfast for themselves. They've lived there for an entire day. Evening rolls around. They message us. Your stove is broken. What's wrong with it? It won't, the cooktop won't heat up. Okay, we'll send some repair people over. Keep in mind, this place is in Eastern time, and this was like 7 o'clock that I was dealing with it, which means it was like 10 p.m. Ain't no way I'm getting a stove repairman out there at 10 p.m. What kind of crack are you smoking? Anyway, tell them, stove repair people the next day. We get almost all the way through the next day without being able to find somebody who will go and check on the stove. And then our handyman is like, well, are they using the right cookware? That's an induction cooktop. It will only work with the right cookware. So we messaged the person, and they just lost their shit. They were like, we're using the same pot we used this morning, and it worked just fine. We want a refund, blah, blah, blah. They went full savage. Full freaking savage.
All right.
To come back 15 minutes later and say, oh, we tried it with a different pot and it worked just fine. No apology. No, we're sorry, we're so stupid.
That's what happens when people are embarrassed.
They should be embarrassed.
Or they say dumb stuff when they're not sure what to say. Why not just keep quiet if you're not sure what to say? Seems less committal.
If you're staying in an Airbnb and you can't get the stove to work and you message them and they're like, it's a special kind of stove, you might want to try a different pot. Just go try the different pot, and if it still doesn't work, come back and tell them it still doesn't work. There's no need to go full savage until after you know they're wrong. You look like a dumbass when they're right, and you couldn't be bothered to try it. And then you wanted a refund because you're too stupid to use a stove. After you got directions. I don't fault them at all for not knowing how to use the stove. At first, I wouldn't know how to use an induction cooktop. I didn't even know that was a thing.
People I've worked with have done that kind of thing where you'll tell them there's a problem and they'll insist that there's no problem and that they don't need to check it. And you're like, at the very least, you got to check it, right? So then I say, oh, look, this error that you dismissed, it actually happens to me too. And you helped me set it up. It worked on the other one, doesn't work on this one. Getting same error as them. Guess maybe you should have gone and looked at it.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Then you look like a fool. You don't have to look. I mean, I didn't see him as a fool. I just saw it as like for what it was. He was so confident that what he did was right that there was no need for him to look.
And there's
But
nothing wrong with
But
that
there's
if you
nothing wrong with
apologize.
checking. There's nothing wrong with checking it out, just for a few seconds. It's easy enough to confirm whether you're right or wrong. And then a lot of times, what you find is, oh, wait a second, there is a problem here. It's not as described, but there's a problem.
Nobody would be salty about your story or my story if the person who was in the wrong just went, shit, sorry. I should have checked. That's it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. 3 seconds of owning your part in this problem. That's all. And nobody's salty. Maybe the oblivious people are the ones making the smart people salty.
With that,
Good night, everyone.
hasta la bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Nightly Rant.
If you enjoyed the show, please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Google Play.
If you didn't enjoy the show, please just ignore that previous request for a rating.
This has been a Yogi's Podcast Network production.